Good morning. My name is Bob Brown, and welcome to our home in northwestern Novato in Marin County. We built our house, finished it about 2.5 years ago, just before the pandemic hit. And it was about a 7-year process from start to finish. And really, our motivation was trying to build a home that was a real demonstration of how to accommodate sustainable living. So we tried to incorporate as much as we could at the time. And we started with the design with the concept of trying to build pretty lightly on the land. Our house is about half the size of every home within a quarter mile, and we really try to minimize the impact on the amount of the property. We only built on about a quarter of a 1.5 acre lot. We definitely wanted to downsize the home to really meet our needs, but also to really lower our resource demand. We tried to develop as little of the property and disturb as little as possible. So on the 1.5 acre lot, we've only built and modified about a quarter of it. And the other thing of concern here, again, being in the foothills and in the wildland urban interface, was the threat of fire danger. And so we built the house 1 story. It's all stucco and stone, all hardscape materials. And then, as you can see, we kept it away from all the major trees around us. We have 2 Tesla power walls. This is sort of the brains of our solar system. About 26 kilowatt hours of storage here. Came in handy just 2 days ago. Saturday, the whole area lost power for about half the day. Part of the beauty of having the battery storage is they charge up during the day, and then they'll discharge at night. So when the power is most expensive, we're using our own self-generated power. And we have about 80% of our energy demands that are covered by our solar and our batteries. So we have 2 mini split HVAC units that provide both heat and cooling. This is the compressor for both. They're mini splits, and so you'll see them inside the house. They're recessed. But it's a great efficient system. We originally didn't think we would really need air conditioning because we've got great airflow and great insulation and triple pane windows. But with things getting warmer and ourselves getting older, I think it was a good decision to have the air conditioning, which we do use a few times a year. Come on inside and we'll take a look at what those heat pumps look like in the interior. So we have 2 of the mini split units. One of them is right up here, and unlike most, which you'll see are wall mounted or ceiling mounted, we wanted ours to be recessed so they're less visible. So they've got about a 1-foot duct on them, but they're right behind the wall right here. So our second heat pump unit mini split is here in the master bedroom, which again, we just cool the 2 areas of the house. And then a second system that we have for ventilation is we've got a whole house fan. And so in the evening when it cools down, we can open all the windows, turn on the whole house fan, and it sucks all that cool air in. And it really cools the house down at night so that we start out the next morning with a very cool house, the floors, the walls, etc. So we really are able to manage the temperature in the house with the minimum use of heating and electricity. So one of our water conservation features, it's just a little tiny pump. It goes on the water heater. It's a hot water recirculation pump. And what that does is it's voice controlled. We use our Google Assistant and say, turn on the hot water. And because our hot water heater is so far from the master bath and shower, we turn the hot water pump on. It pushes the hot water here. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes. And so when we turn on the faucet, the water's hot. And so we don't waste all that gallons of water going down the drain waiting for it to get hot. So we're in the garage now. This is our zero carbon transportation, our electric car and my electric bike. Both are operated and charged by our solar panels. And then getting back to the water heating, this is our 50-gallon heat pump water heater. It's extremely efficient and it's great. Even when we have guests over and have multiple people showering and using the kitchen, more than adequate and quick recovery. And then this is that hot water circulation pump I mentioned. A really inexpensive unit. I installed it myself, very simple, but again, a great water conservation feature. So another water conserving feature are these touch faucets. So they touch on and off. So again, you can really reduce the amount of water by turning them on and off pretty easily. Sometimes when I've got my hands full or I'm washing my hands, I won't even bother touching it. I'll just touch it with any body part at all that's handy. But again, a nice water saving feature for the house. So this is our backyard. We have a bocce court, but below that is our garden and our fruit trees. And the garden is entirely watered by a 2,500-gallon rainwater tank. I'll show you in a second. And then the fruit trees are all watered by greywater. So because we built the house from scratch, we were able to pipe it so that 7 of the plumbing fixtures, all of the bathroom sinks, showers, and the laundry, they all go to a greywater system, which then, when it fills, pumps to the fruit trees, either, again, on demand when it's full, or every 24 hours automatically will pump out. It's a really nice little system that was installed. So this is our 2,500-gallon rainwater tank. And again, it fills up in the winter, usually by May, and it typically will be sufficient until late August. So again, we use that exclusively for our garden watering. And then this is the greywater system, not much really to look at. But again, this is the collection tank. It's got a pump inside. Those fixtures all feed in with piping. And then it has an overflow as well that can pump back out to the sewer if there's any situation that you can't handle. So again, our essentially zero potable irrigation garden and orchard. So the other aspects of sustainability, just beyond the energy and the water savings, I believe, is really sort of promoting a shared economy and a sense of community. And so we do that by taking all of the excess produce and fruit that we grow, certainly more than 2 of us can handle. And I have a garden share box that I have up in front of our house for neighbors, and we're also immediately adjacent to a trailhead, so we get a lot of hikers coming through. So all of our excess goes up in the box, and I don't have to compost any of it. It all gets taken. So that's sort of been a tour of our home. I think what we've really tried to do, again, was to make our home construction an example of sustainable living, and it really is wonderful. It's a wonderful place to live. We feel like we're being really resource efficient, living much lighter on the land than we have in previous home situations. And the other beauty is that we'll have long-term energy savings. We've done all of our investments up front, and so a lot of our power is now free. We use minimal amounts of water. So again, as those prices on those utilities and resources go up, we're going to be sitting pretty and living really, really wonderfully here in Northwest Novato.